Okay, so today we're going to talk about course navigation and how to kind of figure out which modules that you're in and how the course in itself is delivered. Before we go into that, we want to discuss look, Kingdom Blueprint is the station for restoration. We specialize in the marriage restoration arena or with marriages and working with marriages and individual relationships, so forth and so on. So if you get on this website and you see marriage information all over the place and you're just here specifically to make better decisions in your life, you're not necessarily here for what you see on this website, you're not in the wrong place. You haven't ended up in the wrong spot. It is just what we do mostly is we work with marriages and Christian families. However, we also work in other arenas as well. So you're not in the wrong spot, you're in the right place. And starting off, you want to look at after you establish your username and your password for your account. You want to be in here, which is your library, your member directory. If you ever get lost in the website and you're looking for your member directory or I'm sorry, not your member directory, your dashboard, so to speak, or your library, you click on this user icon over here and click my library, and it will rotate you right back to your library. So the course you're actually looking for here um is past all this. I'm the administrator, so I have all of our courses that are available. However, this is the course that everybody's here for. We're here for getting back to the basics where there's no spiritual guesswork. So you click view product here, and then you can see the course. Before you select start course, if this is your first time ever getting to this course, there's one thing that I want you to know. Start these three things first. You're going to see a copy of this video here in so you understand course navigation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, trying to figure out kind of where you are or what you're doing in this course, look, technically speaking, I guess you would say, then you'll be able to find this video. It'll be right here in this first lesson here. Then also the next lesson is on your approach. So if we just start, you'll be able to see how it's pretty much delivered. So here on your approach, mostly we see people struggle with being closed-minded or tunnel vision. So you're going to need to be open-minded for this course. Determination is more about people wanting to see these big objectives completed instead of celebrating smaller victories and small wins. Um, they are cursing the darkness instead of lighting a candle. And so you're going to need determination for this course. You're going to need empathy for yourself and where you are currently so that you can have empathy for others. So understanding your current situation is good so that you can be able to understand others. In order to do that, it's really hard. If you don't do that, it's really hard to make decisions moving forward. You're going to need that, and you're going to need an unwavering confidence. So this shows is what you need to begin before you start the actual course modules. You need to finish these three lessons first, and then you can go to the course modules. If you're in a lesson where you're in a module where you don't want to be in and you just want to start over, just click this button here up here and you can see the course modules. Right now, I just have the first week published because everything that you do here is going to be based on what's called a drip content. So if until you're in the program 8 weeks, you're not going to see everything. You're only going to see things week by week. So in this course, you have the opportunity to schedule one 60-minute um one-on-one coaching session over a span of 2 weeks. Now, if you get stuck for any reason whatsoever, or you're just having a hard time figuring out what direction you're headed into, or whatever happens, and you get stuck for any reason, you can split your 1 hour session into two 30-minute sessions. So starting off, this is your first week. And so you do want to look in your first weeks, and if you see text content here is extreme. extremely important. I know a lot of times you kind of skim over things and you don't really read it, but just if you see something in bold and stuff like that, you need to kind of stop and just see what we're talking about more. To be honest with you, read as much as you can about it. If you struggle with reading fully through things, that's okay, but just make sure that you don't skip the text curriculum, because it's very, very important for what we're trying to get you to. We're trying to get you to the roadmap to making better decisions. And we don't want you to kind of get lost, because the text curriculum is very, very important. So going back here, just to circle back, all of the modules are delivered with a male, a female perspective, and then you just have mental health, professional input. So for the most part, you're going to see, not really for the most part, you're going to see chivalry's not dead. So it's going to be ladies first. You're going to see a woman that's going to deliver the content here. They're going to talk about the first week's module. This is how it's going to be delivered every time. You're going to have an opening prayer, a closing prayer, and probably two lessons in between, or two lessons in between. These lessons are also going to have video content in them. So there are videos that go along with the text information. It's not just text information. There is video and text as well. So the homework you're going to find in downloads, and in a second I'm going to go over that. In fact, I'll just go over it now. So when you click this download here, it's going to download onto your computer. Okay, so overall, I don't really use Microsoft Word that much for Word documents. I'm really more of a Google fan. Some people use Microsoft Word, and that's completely fine. The process is the same. It's not very much different, but just so you're aware, I use Google. So you go over here. This is my Google account. Uh, and start here, and you want to click these little Google apps right here, this button here in the right hand corner. Go to your drive, and then you want to click new file, upload, and then the file that you just uploaded, click open. It's going to upload that, and then you just click the button. It was down there in the right corner. Sorry if I'm going a little fast. And then you're going to see the homework here. Read the information that's on there. Make sure that you read that information. And then down here, if you want to make edits or changes to anything that's here, like if you want to say, forget these lines, it's perfectly fine. I own this document, so I'm allowed to make changes to it. But if you want to make changes, to be honest, more than likely, you're going to be a viewer for this document instead of owning it. So if you want to just be able to, you're going to need to edit this document. So go over to File, make a copy, and then you click that, make a copy, and then you can go in here. Sorry, I was making edits before. It's because I own that document, so I can make edits. But then for you guys, you want to make that copy, so then you can come in here and you can say, okay, well, I don't need these lines. Most of the time, people, they use those lines when they print them out. They take them to the therapist, counselor, psychologist, whatever they're doing, whatever their mental health professional is, if they're having sessions in between seeing us, and they will answer these questions and then bring them to them. So you want to make sure that you kind of have a good space, like you have some space to answer your questions. I like to underline things, or I like to especially if you get caught in a specific question or you have a question about something else, do not wait to say, you know what, let's highlight, let's go over here and let's say, oh, I have a question about this thing right here. Do not say, oh, well, I'll just ask them in my coaching session, because more times than not, people forget. Highlight the question, and what like the question here, what would you do if your fears made you angry or sad? um I would punch a wall. Like me, I would probably, since I don't need the lines, delete that. Um, I would punch a wall and or cry in the corner. That is not healthy. So make sure that you have your answers there. Like you see, I have them underlined. It's just my way of making sure I can separate the answer question. If you got stuck with this question, then you can, to be honest with you, then just being able to highlight it is saying, oh, okay, now I can remember when I had a question about it. Bring your edited document into your coaching session. If you get stuck, then you can schedule a 30-minute session with us. But after you're done editing, go back in the file. I download them frequently, but you can also save as Google Docs, and that helps. If you download it, it will save the changes for you. Or if you save as a Google Doc, it'll save it straight to your drive and you can go back and find it and bring it to your session. So back into here, that's how you bring your hard work or your homework, hard work, homework, we call it the same thing. You bring that into your session. Now, let's say that you get stuck at a specific place in your homework. So let's go back here and let's say I was doing my homework and I got stuck and I'm in the man's portion of things. So you go to reflection for the week. Every week in the mental health guide, in the man section or in the woman section, there is a reflection for the week. So let's say I'm looking at the reflection and I've gotten stuck. And I don't know what to do here. At the end here, you're going to see bring a copy of your homework. And if you're having difficulty with your homework the first week, you can, from the time that you start the program, at the end of that first week, you can schedule a 30-minute session by clicking right here. You click right there. It's going to send you directly to scheduling a 30-minute session. Now, let's assume for any reason that you are just having a really hard time with the homework and for whatever reason it's just not clicking. After that 30 minutes is over, the next thing that you can do is send us an email and say, hey, I'm having a really hard time at this part, or you may want to contact your coach directly and say, this has been really hard and it correlates to the decision I'm trying to make. And this is available in all sections of the course. So if you are looking at the mental health guide, or if you're looking at Dan that's delivering it, who's the male's portion, Megan who's delivering it, who's the female's portion, perspectives, at least the different perspectives there, and I will deliver the mental health portion of it. If you're looking for more than that 30 minutes, reach out to us and we will try to help you as best as we can um, until the next week. And so we can kind of help work you through these things. But make sure that you are working on your homework and continuously working on your homework and bringing them to your one-on-one sessions. So after you're done there, you can mark your lessons as complete as you saw at the end of this week. You can say, I'm done, mark my lesson as complete, and then you'll see complete. So real quick, let's say I start this program and I'm looking, I'm like, I don't want to go through the woman's, the man's, and the mental health for the first week. I just want to do one or the other. You don't have to do the woman's perspective if you just want the man's perspective. You don't have to do the man's perspective if you just want the woman's perspective. You can pick and choose which one you want to do for the first week. A lot of our clients sometimes will say, hey, I'm not really interested in opening prayer or closing prayer or the and talking about the Christian aspect of different things. I'm really looking just for the mental health portion of things. So that allows you, the course allows you to skip these portions right here and just go to here to the mental health portion of it and still continue on to the next week. So that's completely fine. You don't have to go through all of these things in order to get through it. Now, to get to your next week. However, I highly recommend you start here. I highly recommend it. Do not, I wouldn't recommend starting this course without going through the videos and the information that's here first. It will give you a very good direction of where we're headed and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. So again, this is Kingdom Blueprint. All this header up here is basically it's for Kingdom Blueprint, and it does specialize in marriage restoration. So if you see marriage information or any of things like that, if you click on home or prayers, any of these things, you're like, why am I here? It's because that's what we normally do. That's what we really specialize in. We also help in multiple different areas, but that's what our website specializes in. So you're not in the wrong place. So either way, I just wanted to make sure that we explained how to guide yourself through the course. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always email us at kingdomblueprint777 at gmail.com. We also have a phone number, 520-505-1593. And you can just reach out to us whenever you need to kind of figure out what it is that you're trying to get accomplished. Thanks and have a wonderful day.